Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Afifah binti Zahid. Today I want to present about conversion cycle. Conversion cycle is to transform input resources such as raw materials, labor and overhead into finished products or services for sale. Conversion cycle consists of two subsystems, which are physical activities for the production system and information activities for the cost accounting system. Depending on the type of product being manufactured, a company will employ one of the following production methods. The first one is continuous processing. Continuous processing creates a homogeneous product through a continuous series of standard procedures. Cement and petrochemicals are produced by this manufacturing method. Typically, under this approach, firms attempt to maintain finished goods inventory at levels needed to meet expected sales demand. The sales forecast, in conjunction with information on current inventory levels, triggers this process. The second one is make-to-order processing. Make-to-order processing involves the fabrication of discrete products in accordance with customer specifications. This process is initiated by sales orders rather than by depleted inventory levels. And the third one is batch processing. Batch processing produces discrete groups of products. Each item in the batch is similar and requires the same raw materials and operations. To justify the cost of setting up and retooling for each batch run, the number of items in the batch tends to be large. This is the most common method of production and is used to manufacture products such as automobiles, household appliances, canned goods, automotive tires, and textbooks. The discussion in this chapter is based on a batch processing environment. Batch processing system consists of four basic processes, which are plan and control production, perform production operations, the third one is maintain inventory control, and the last one is perform cost accounting. The documents in the batch processing system are first, production schedule is the formal plan and authorization to begin production. This document describes the specific products to be made, the quantities to be produced in each batch, and the manufacturing timetable for starting and completing production. The second document is Bill of Materials. Bill of Materials specifies the types and quantities of the raw material and sub-assemblies used in producing a single unit of finished products. The raw material requirements for an entire batch are determined by multiplying the bill of materials by the number of items in the batch. The third document is route sheet. Route sheet shows the production path that a particular batch of product follows during manufacturing, specifies the sequence of operations and time allocated to each task. The fourth document is a work order. Work order draws from bill of materials and route sheets to specify the materials and production for each batch. Together with move tickets, initiate the manufacturing process in the production departments. The fifth document is move ticket. Move ticket records work done in each work center and authorizes the movement of the batch from one work center to the next. The next document is materials requisition. Materials requisition authorizes the storekeeper to release materials to work centers in the production process. This document usually specifies only standard quantities. Materials needed in excess of standard amounts require separate requisitions that may be identified explicitly as excess materials requisition. This allows for closer control over the production process by highlighting excess material usage. There are three types of batch production activities, which are: the first one is production planning and control, the second one is work centers and stockkeeping, and the last one is inventory control. Production planning and control consists two main activities, which are materials and operations requirements and production scheduling. As for materials and operations requirements, the raw materials requirement for a batch of any given product is the difference between what is needed and what is available in the raw material inventory. This information comes from analysis of inventory on hand, the sales forecast, engineering specifications, and the bill of materials. As for production scheduling, the second activity of the planning and control function is product scheduling. The master schedule for a production run coordinates the production of many different batches. The schedule is influenced by time constraints, batch size, and specifications derived from bill of materials and route sheets. The second batch production activities is work centers and stockkeeping. The actual production operations begin when workers obtain raw materials from stockkeeping in exchange for materials requisitions. These materials, as well as the machining and the labor required to manufacture the product, are applied in compliance with the work order. When the task is complete at a particular work center, the supervisor or other authorized person signs the move ticket, which authorizes the batch to proceed to the next work center. To evidence that a stage of production has been completed, a copy of the move ticket is sent back to production planning and control to update the open work order file. Upon receipt of the last move ticket, the open work order file is closed. The finished product, along with a copy of the work order, is sent to the FG warehouse. Also, a copy of the work order is sent to inventory control to update the FG inventory records. Work centers are also fulfill an important role in recording labor time costs. This task is handled by work center supervisors who, at the end of each work week, send employee time cards and job tickets to the payroll and cost accounting departments. For the last batch production activities is inventory control. The inventory control function consists of three main activities. First, it provides production planning and control with status reports on finished goods and raw materials inventory. Second, the inventory control function is continually involved in updating the raw material inventory records from materials requisitions, excess materials requisitions, and materials return ticket. And finally, upon receipt of the work order from the last work center, inventory control records the completed production by updating the finished goods inventory records.
So I will proceed the presentation with control in the traditional environment, lean manufacturing and world-class company. Okay, so for the control in the traditional environment, they have 6, which is for the first one is transaction authorization, which is they have work order, move ticket, material requisition. So for the work order, they have a production planning and control authorized that works via under work order. And then This document will reflect the production requirement, which is the difference between expected demand for products and the finished good inventory on hand. And for the move ticket, it is signed by the supervisor at each department. Okay, next is material requisition. Material requisition means excess material requisition authorize the storekeeper to release the material to the work center. Okay, so for the objective of segregation of duty is the first one is inventory control maintains accounting records of raw material and finished goods. This activity will keep separate from the material storeroom from the finished good warehouse. And the next one is account for work in process should be separate for the work center in the production process. Okay, that's mean segregation of duties. Okay, the third one is supervision, which is oversee usage of raw material, observe and review timekeeping activity. For oversee usage of raw materials, it means it oversee the usage raw material in the production process. Okay, because this will help to ensure that all material released from store are used in production and the waste is minimized. Employee time card and job ticket must be checked for the accuracy. The next is observe and review timekeeping activity. The employer must always review the activity because they will lead to accuracy employee time cards and job tickets. Okay, for the fourth one is access control. Access control has two, which is direct access and indirect access. For direct access, it means nature of physical product and the production process influence the type of access control. Okay, this means firms often limit access to sensitive areas such as storeroom, production work centers, and finished good warehouse. So the next is accounting records. Okay, the objective in this control technique is to establish an audit trail for each transaction. So to accomplish this, they use a work order, cost sheet, move ticket, job ticket, material requisition, the work in progress file, and the finished good inventory. By pre-number resource document and referring this in the work in progress record, a company can trace every item of finished good inventory back through the production process. So this is essential to detect any errors in production and record keeping, locating batches, losses in production, and performing periodic audit. For the last one is independent verification. Okay, independent verification is identify department from prescribed standard which are former reported as a variance, which is calculate variance are important source of data that management reporting to the system. For world-class company, they have 5 characteristics, which is the first one, maintain strategic agility. Okay, it means the top management must be aware of customer need and not become rigid and resistant to any changes. Okay, and next is motivate and treat employee like appreciating asset. Okay, so to active the talent of everyone, decision are pushed to the lowest level in the organization, and the result is a flat and responsive organization structure. Okay, the third is meet the needs of its customer. Okay, nowadays with a competitor aggressive seeking a new ways, the company must seek a new ways to increase the market share. A world-class firm must continue delight its customer. The next one is philosophy of customer satisfaction. Okay, this means all of the activity is from acquisition of raw material to selling the finished good. So for a change of customer, each activity is dedicated to serving its customer, which is the net activity in the process. So the final paying customer in the last in the chain. The last one is philosophy of lean manufacturing. It means that involve doing more with less, eliminating and reducing production cycle times. Okay, so the next one is about lean manufacturing. It has 7. So for the first one is pull processing, which is pulling product from the customer end. It means is the inventory arrive in small quantity from vendors several times per day. So they are put into production as capacity downstream becomes available. And the next one is perfect quality to meet customer demand. It means we must consider the cost of scrap, reworking, scheduling delay, and any extra inventory to compensate for defective part, warranty claim, and failed services. Okay, so the third one is eliminate non-value activities. Any activity that do not add value and minimize the use of scarce resource must be eliminated. So the example of waste in traditional environment, the first one is overproduction of product, which includes making more than needed at or producing earlier than needed, transportation of product, inefficient motion of worker, which is who must work more than necessary in the completion of their assigned task. And the last one is safety hazard that cause injury and lost work hour and associated expenses. So next is inventory reduction, which is mean reduce inventory cost. The reason why the reduction is because inventory costs money. There are investment in materials, labor, and overhead that cannot be realized until so. Other than that, inventory also has a hidden cost. So they must be transported throughout the factory, and they must be handled, stored, and count. So that so because of that, inventory lost value through the obsolescence. Next one is production flexibility, which is to produce diversity of products. Long machine setup procedure cause delay in production, and it can encourage overproductions. Because of that, the company needs to reduce setup time to a minimum, which allows them to produce a greater diversity of product quickly without sacrifice efficiency at lower volume of productions. And the next one is establish supplier relation, which is a reliable vendor. Reliable vendor late deliveries, defective raw material, or incorrect order, we shut down the production immediately, because this production model allows no inventory reserve to draw open. And the last one is team attitude, which is attitude as a whole of our employees. So each employees must be aware of any problem that can threaten the continuous flow of operation in the production line.
My name is Izian Inshira binti Idrusam. So today I would like to present about physical reorganization of the product facilities. For physical reorganization of the product facilities, it has 3 things, which is the inefficiencies inherent in the layout of traditional plants at handling cost, conversion time, and excess inventories to the manufacturing process. And the second thing is employees tend to feel ownership over their stations, which is contrary to a team concept. And next is the reorganization is based on flows through cell, which shorten the physical distance between the activities, thus reducing setup and processing time, handling costs and inventories in the flow. So this is the three things in the progression of automation in the manufacturing process, which is traditional, island of technology, and computer integrated manufacturing. So this is the example for roll storage, as you can see in the picture. For robotics use special CNC machines that are useful in performing hazardous, difficult, and monotonous tasks. So for CAD, which is computer-aided design, it has four things in the CAD, which is can increase engineers' productivity, improve accuracy, allow firm to be more responsive to market demand, and interface with CAM and MRP to Raman system. So for CAM, computer-aided manufacturing. Computer-aided manufacturing use computers to control the physical manufacturing process, provide greater precision, speed, and control that human production processes. And for VSM, which is value stream mapping, VSM is the activities that constitute a firm's production process are either essential or they are not. And VSM also provide optimum value to the customer through a complete value creation process with minimum waste in their design, their build, and sustain. In accounting in lean manufacturing environment, first is they have to show what matters to their customers. Second is identifies profitable products, and then identifies profitable customer. And next is identify opportunities for improvement in operations and product, encourage the adoption of value-added activities and process within the organization, and identify those that do not add value, efficiently supports multiple user with both financial and non-financial information. So there are four things that is wrong with traditional accounting information, which is an inaccurate cost allocation, promotes non-lean behavior, time lag, and financial orientation. For activity-based costing is a costing method that assigns overhead and indirect costs to related products and services. The activities of ABC is to describe the work performed in a firm, preparing a purchase order, redying a product for shipping, or operating a ladle. And the cost objective for activity-based costing is include product, vendors, and customers.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurul Ataliana binti Muhammad, and so I will present about advantage and disadvantage of ABC. Activity-based costing. So the first one of advantage of ABC is it's more accurate costing of product or services, customers and distribution channels. And the next is accurately tracking cost of activities and processes. And the last one is facilitating better marketing mix. And for the disadvantage of activity-based costing is ABC is complicated for practical applications over a sustained period. The task of identifying activity cost and cost driving can be a significant undertaking that is not completed once and then forgot. ABC creates complex bureaucracies within organizations that are in conflict with the lean manufacturing philosophies of process simplification and waste elimination. And the next is for value stream accounting, which is VSA. The complexity of ABC have caused many firms to abandon this method in favor of a simpler accounting model called value stream accounting. An essential aspect in implementing value stream accounting is identify the product family. And Value stream accounting includes all the costs associated with the product family but makes no distinction between direct costs and indirect costs. So for the information system that support lean manufacturing, which have three part. For the first one is material requirement planning, which is RMP, and the next is manufacturing resources planning, which is MRP to Roman, and the last one is enterprise resource planning, ERP. So for the material requirement planning, focus on how much raw material required to fulfill production orders. Then we review for manufacturing resources planning, evolve from MRP to integrate additional functionality into manufacturing process, including sales, marketing, and accounting. And finally, we examine some key features of enterprise resource planning, ERP system. ERP take MRP to Roman a step further by integrating all business functions into a core set of applications that use a common database. So, for material requirement planning, MRP is an automated production planning and control system used to support inventory management. Its operational objective is to ensure adequate raw materials are available to the production process, and the next is maintain the lowest possible of inventory on hand, and the last one is produce production and processing schedules and other information needed to control production. This is some illustrate the key features of an MRP system. Depending on the manufacturing process in place, inputs to the MRP system will include sales forecast, FG inventory on hand, RM inventory on hand, and the bill of materials. MRP is calculation method geared toward determining how much of which raw materials are required and when they should be ordered to fill or production. Comparing FG inventory on hand with the needed levels, MRP calculate the total production requirement and the individual batch lot size needed. From this, the bill of material exploded to produce a list of raw material needed for production, which is compared to the raw materials on hand. The difference is the amount that will be ordered from vendors, and the primary output from the MRP system, purchase requisition that are sent to the purchase system. In addition, the system output may include production schedules, management report, and day-to-day production documents such as work orders and move ticket. And the next is for manufacturing resources planning, which is MRP to Roman, and extension of MRP that has evolved beyond the confines of inventory management. So MRP to Roman integrate products, manufacturing product in engineering, sales, order processing, customer billing, human resources, and related accounting functions. And the benefit from integrate MRP to system is it can improve cash flow, increase productivity, improve customer service, and assistance achieving long-term strategic goals. And the last one, we review enterprise resource planning, which is ERP system. MRP to Roman has evolved into a large suite of software called ERP system. ERP integrate department and functions across a company into one system of integrated applications. So ERP system enable various departments to share information and communicate with each other. And ERP system is composed of function-specific modules that reflect industry best practice, designed to interact with the other modules. Example, account receivable, account payable, purchasing, and so on. ERP system can calculate resource requirement, schedule production, manage changes to product configurations, allow for future plan changes in product, and monitor shop floor production. In addition, The ERP provide order entry, cash receipt, procurement, and cash disbursement function along with full financial and managerial reporting capability. A lean manufacturing company will have an ERP system that is capable of external communication with its customer and suppliers through electronic data interchange, which we call EDI, and EDI communication link via internet or direct connection will allow the firm to electronically receive sales order and cash receipt from customer, send invoice to customer, send purchase order to vendors and receive invoice from vendor and pay them, as well as send and receive shipping documents. EDI is a central element of many electronic commerce systems. EDI also is a central element of many electronic commerce systems. So that's all from us. Thank you.